Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. Happy Tuesday to everybody. So today we're going to be talking about conflict and confrontation. Does that happen in real estate? Yes, it does. So I thought today, because I had several conversations over the last few days, well, every day there's at least one, but recently several conversations with agents. I'm not going to use any names. I'm going to tell some stories, and this might be one of yours, of a lot of conflict and confrontation in real estate transactions. So I want you to sit back and think, how good are you with confrontation? How good are you with negotiations? How good are you to keeping people on task to what they really want? Because ultimately, you have a buyer, you have a seller, everybody wants the same thing, but how to get there, how much it costs, what they have to give and take to get there, that is the difference. That's the difference on every transaction. That's the difference. It changes as the transaction goes. But your job as a realtor is to keep people on task. And one of the things you can do when you get off task and you can't understand why the people are acting the way they are, you have to keep on asking them. This is a very important question, is help me understand where you're coming from. Help me understand why you're making these decisions. So these are one of the examples I want to use today, is that of course some people want, of course, the highest price, the lowest price when they're the buyer, easiest terms. We all know that, but sometimes people act a certain way because in this example I'll give you is that we have an example of a seller that is been in the market going on 3 months now, in a market that in a city that in this price range 50 houses have sold in the last 6 months. Many over asking price, some within a day. And right now there's only 3 houses on the market. And this property's been sitting there for almost 3 months, 3 showings. And they're pointing at the conflict, the confrontations with the agent, like what they're doing to not market that property. So any agent out there hearing those numbers, 50 houses sold, many over asking within a day, and this house is sitting for 3 months with 2 showings. First reaction, we are dealing with a Whaley, that's not a word, a house that's way overpriced. So I'm trying to help an agent through the conflict and understand where these people are coming from and why they are behaving like that, because their goal is to sell this house. Give you a little bit more detail about this client. This is an estate. This is someone who passed. Their parents have passed. This is not even their house. It's not their house that they live in. It's not a short sale. It's just a full, clean house of ready for them to have this income. But they really are stuck on the price. So in this case, for the last few days, helping this agent try to understand and find out where they're coming from, the numbers and why they feel that way. I'm sorry to say, in this case scenario, we have a very stubborn seller, and they're not budging right now. But I did help the agent understand where people come from. We're kind of like psychologists. Sometimes people want to win. So in part of this video today, I was going to give you some tips on how to connect with people, and I will give you those in a minute. But some people you won't connect to. You're going to have to let go a client that is blaming you or abusing you, or it's a conflict with you, and you don't get there. You're not going to win them all with some of the tips I'm going to give you, but you got to realize when it's time to cut someone loose. And in this case, the conflict got to the point where we're not going to resolve this. We have a seller that is really unreasonable with their price. We know that. We see that. The market shows that. But you're not going to win them all. But normally, I would say in this case, is that and I've seen this happen many times in estates. There's 3 siblings, 4 siblings, and you have to really get down to asking that question of, let me clearly understand why you are holding out for this price when you have a clear home with no mortgage on it. They're just money going to your siblings, and who's holding out? Why? Who's the one that's holding out, and why they want this, and why they're so stuck with this price? We have no comparables. Some people have problems with family dynamic, and you have to be that counselor that's listening to them. Some of these your clients will want to talk to you about it. I know some of you, when you heard me say that, it's like, I want to know what's going on in the deep end. Like, I don't want to know what's going on personally. You do, because that's affecting their decision that you're supposed to be negotiating and helping them and guiding them. Sometimes you got to dig in, and some want to talk about it. Not all do. Some want to shut down, just say, I'm not telling you, or won't tell you that, of what is really driving the conflict. What is driving the confrontation with you with that listing on that? So again, keep asking the question, find out. And I'll give you another example. Same exact situation. We had a high-price home. We were only $2,000 off a price. One of the siblings would not budge. They were going to ruin the whole deal. It was overpriced. We finally got a client, and we dug down deep. Basically, the siblings were talking, but the one that was in charge, or the executor, was telling our agent, no, we're not accepting, we're not doing this, it's 2,000, it's 2,000, we're not going to take it without that 2,000 more. And she goes, can I ask you why, help me understand why it's only 2,000. You own this house, clear, why it's only 2,000. And that opened up, and that client told him, well, actually, it's not me or my sister, it's my brother. He wants $2,000 more. That's it. He wants $2,000 more, and which equated to a third of that is his. So because that agent dug into that and says, help me understand why you're being so adamant about this when we have a great offer, it's a good price, and found out that one sibling was actually asking for a third of that, which is like $600 and $700, and the agent called me, told me that. I go, that's easy, give him the $700, because the other 2 siblings wanted to do it. They go, we could do that. I'm like, yes, you can do that. And those 2 siblings, one kicked in $350, the other one $350, and we got it done because we dug in. We said, help me understand of why you're being so adamant about that. Just because the one sibling who was not involved in the conversation, has no idea what's going on with this transaction, doesn't even know the real value of the house, has a dollar figure in their head that they want to cash out on, and we worked out the problem. So that's just an example of digging in, finding out, and helping people, guide them through the process. Same with buyers and sellers. Not as much right now, because we have people way not overpaying, but over asking price. The buyers are being, no inspection, no money for closing costs. No, the buyers are bending over backwards for the sellers. And honestly, in 29 years, I've never seen so many transactions in theory go so smoothly, because the buyers are doing anything to get these homes, and you're seeing it out there. But in a normal market that's not like this, a lot of time there's give and take, and you as the agent has to dig down and find out why someone is asking, what's their motivation of that. And sometimes it's like I said, the personal motivation. We've had sellers that are so adamant about price that they're being unreasonable with that, because we dig in and find out, no, they really are having a hard time personally selling their home and moving. We've had people sabotage their sale, unconsciously, because they're having a hard time. It's a stressful time with them. So you have to be that that voice of reason sometimes. You have to be that calm in the storm. You have to be that connection. And when you build that connection, when you connect with them and say, help me understand where you're coming from. Help me understand your point of view. Help me understand. You'll build that relationship of trust, that they know you're looking out for your best interest. You're not looking for a sale and just get it done and get a commission and move on. You want to help them. I want to help me. Help me understand how to help you and the reason why you're doing this. So many times in the thousands and thousands of transactions I've been through, I know for a 100% fact that our agent has built a connection and client for life, more referrals, because they built that trust by digging into not just numbers and cents, just why are you holding on to that thing in the house that the buyer's trying to buy and want to be included in the sale? Why, as a seller, you don't want to go back into the house to do repairs? I've had sellers that say, I'm not going back in, and the buyers say, I need these repairs done, and find out that they don't want to go back into the house. They've left the house. They don't want to go there. They moved out of town. They don't want to bother with. There's so many reasons why people start a conflict with each other, a buyer and seller, agent and seller, agent and buyer. There's confrontation that happens. Some really love it, and you got to watch for those people too. I mean, that's a whole nother video on how to handle people that always like confrontation and always have to win, and how to deal with those. But let me, while I'm off on that tangent, if you need help with those, please call me. I have lots of experience in dealing with personalities of that, in negotiations, in helping them and guiding them, trying to have a win-win situation when we have to show them they're going to win, and help the transaction in a ethical and professional and calming way when you're totally frustrated with your client because they need to win and want to just win over someone else. So that's a whole nother video. But again, with this, make sure, again, you're that calm. Make sure you dig in deep to why the conflict's there, because like I started the video, is everybody has the same goal, to buy the house. When you have you have a seller that just has to sell a house, they want to sell, and you're telling them what the value is. You're all on the same page. You want to sell the house, they want to sell the house, but now we have price. There's that conflict. You have a buyer and seller, they have a contract, and they both, buyer wants to buy, seller wants to sell. You want to help them, the other agent wants to help them. You're all going to the right direction, but how to get there, and items that need to be corrected or done, or things that need to be negotiated, are the only difference in there, and how you handle it, and talk to the other agent, talk to your client on how they could help you understand why they're making those decisions, could really open the door and help you move along the transaction clearly or smoothly. But remember, especially our Century 21 HomeStar agents, you're welcome to call me. Any agent, call me and help you, because every situation is different. Every personality is different. There's when you have buyers, there's uncles and aunts and moms and dads in the background that you didn't know about, especially to the new agents out there that are watching this. You're going to come across so many things that you didn't know was happening in the background in people's lives, or who is giving them advice outside of your advice, and you will build a great, you will grow into a great agent by listening to those little things, asking those questions, trying to understand where they're coming from, and not talking. You got to do that from listening. You got to do that from listening, and continue to ask questions, and being consistent with those questions to get out what's really happening in the background, to help these people, guide them, navigate them, and be their voice of reason through the transaction. So hopefully that helps. That's very general information, but I'm happy to be, if you have situations that come up now or happen now or in the future, help you navigate through those situations and help your client to the best of your ability. So that's it for today on Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll be back tomorrow, 12 noon on Wednesday. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.